Just roll his clip as well as some of other stitches I was able to put together. Please leave me your own thoughts and let's dive into it.
What percentage of young blacks have both a mom and a dad raising them?
I cannot think of a percentage right now to give you.
25%. So only 1 out of 4 blacks in America have a mom and a dad around. Do you think that is a bigger issue to address than racism?
Since when these conservative huelebichos are concerned advocates of black community issues, mi gente? In this short sample here, we can clearly see how this clueless pendejo is trying to somehow argue that to fix the problem of fatherlessness among the black communities of our country, which is indeed a legit problem, is way more important than acknowledging their own problem with racism, as though all the struggles that black communities get to experience aren't directly and purposely connected to the racism. Let's see what else he has to say.
Me, why all the fathers are leaving?
Exactly. Why are they leaving?
Question for you.
Because black women married the government and divorced the men that they were once with.
Of course it is the black woman's fault. Who else could be responsible? It's not like the conservative white man wasn't the one who added the 13th Amendment to our Constitution after black slavery was prohibited, which pretty much then ended up replacing his previous legal slavery of the black man with his now legal slavery of the same black man by the means of incarceration. By the way, the conservative white man was also the one who decided to then give our prison system to private corporations. The more fatherless black man the white man can get in prison, the more money the white man can make off the black man, while then accusing the black woman as being the one responsible of their fatherless children being in prison. I mean, it's not like the conservative white man wasn't either the one who came up with the idea of having the property taxes of our homes being used to pay for most of the education of our communities. Which means that if you happen to live in a wealthy community where everyone have expensive homes, your schools will then look exactly like the amount of taxes your expensive home can pay for those schools and their education. Which is why so many of them end up looking like college campuses. While also, on the other hand, if you live in a black poor neighborhood where many unfortunately have their homes crumbling apart because they don't have the means to keep the value of their homes up, your schools and education will then look just like your homes do. Without a safe home and good education, how could anyone expect any child to grow up to be a responsible adult, capable of also being a good husband and a father? And surely it wasn't the conservative white man, the one who then purposely decided to have his bank denying any type of business loan application that a black man with dreams will apply for so that he could then thrive within his own community, but rather decided then to infect his black community with cheap drugs so that the same black man will end up a hopeless criminal rather than a successful businessman, or even worse, a successful co-worker competing for their white man's job. And yes, it was indeed the liberal white man who decided then to give a few bucks a month to the single mother, not that she will marry the government like this huelebicho suggested here, but rather so that the black woman will then stay at home taking care of her fatherless children. I mean, how else would she care of her children if she has no jobs offered by any white man or any affordable daycare around her? These conservative pendejos and huelebichos are truly a joke. Stay woke, mi gente. Dale.
Only 1 out of 4 blacks in America have a mom and a dad around.
You know how magicians get you to look up here so you don't realize that this has been in your face the whole time?
Hey, black women, let me tell you, I meant all the disrespect in the video when I was fast forwarding commercials and everything else, because I just get so tired of all these African women making videos about American black women's business. Now, mind you, I ain't coming at them, but I'm just tired of it. Like, you got your own continent and your own women you could be making videos about, and your own circumstances and situations that are very similar to ours. Like, first of all, there is a huge fucking black femicide problem in Africa and in America, right? So why aren't they making videos about that? Huh? Why aren't you making videos about what's going on in Africa about that? Why are y'all always so worried about what's going on over here in America concerning black women? And when you talk about us, then it spreads out to externally everything that concerns us or is in our proximity here in America, right? And these black males. The other thing is, right, are these women getting paid off of our content and trying to like blow up our business and creating more stereotypical dysfunction about the shit people talk about us that's not correct? Like, the thing in this video that was really bothering me was the fact that none of this, even though the Hispanic man was trying to stick up for us, none of this information is correct. So let me just tell y'all straight up and down what the real issue is, right? And then I'll go into how we are disenfranchised from slavery, right? The reason black males are not in our homes is simply because they're too violent. They have always been violent since the beginning of time towards black women and children. They not only commit the highest statistic of domestic violence in America against black women, making us the only women in America that suffer the intense amount of domestic violence out of any other women in this country. Secondly, our little black girls suffer the highest rates and incidents of sexual assault in their home and before they turn 18 by black males who are related to them, live in their neighborhoods, and who also just happen to come across them. All right? There have been so many cases of little black girls trying to come home from school, sexually assaulted by a black male, killed, never seen again, abducted, human trafficked, or just taken into an abandoned building, raped by more than one dude, and left there to die. This is why they're not in our homes. And this is why we really don't want them around us, because even though there are going to be so many nut jobs that say, oh, not all black men, there's too many of them that do it. So I don't give a shit about not all. The collective of them are fucked up and they have too many problems. They have an insane hatred for black women since they are the descendants of slavery, conquered men by weaker white men, and this is what bothers them. And they try to take it out on black women and little girls. Okay. When it comes to what the Hispanic man was saying about the amount of taxes you paying contributes to how you live. If you don't have a job to pay the way white people do to live the life they have, all the stuff the Hispanic man was saying was true. But let me break this down for you. Okay, so in slavery, we were working for free for these white people to gain all of the money and businesses and all of their generational wealth that they have to today. And okay, during World War I and World War II, right? Black men fought in both of those wars. When they came back from those wars, each one of those wars had different programs set up for white men only to be given land, to own homes, right? Just given, they didn't even have to qualify for it. The government just gave it to them, right? So they got land and they got homes. They didn't give it to the black men, right? And whatever black people managed to have land or have stuff passed down to them through slavery by ever so often some generous white person that was raping the shit out of our foremothers, right? That's how they got land, because that's how my family got some land. All right. When you move up to World War II, right, you have the government creating programs for white people to gain wealth through home ownership with the GI Bill, which was given to them and not the black people. Then you have redlining for the few black people whose families were able to have life insurance, and whenever those older black males worked themselves to death, the money that they were able to get from their life insurance did afford them to buy homes, but most times those homes were burnt down when they moved into white areas. And because of the redlining, there were not many homes in the black areas, so that stopped us from buying homes, therefore stopped us from having that level of wealth that a grandparent could pass on, a great-grandparent or a grandparent could pass on to their adult children and then to their grandchildren, as white people have all the time. Outside of that, when you factor in when these white people get jobs, they're given the best education, they're given referrals for jobs, there's nepotism, favoritism, all that type of stuff, where when they go to work somewhere and we're smarter than them or we have more credentials for them, having to work harder and do more for the same amount of education, right? Or a little bit more education, because we always got to do more than they do. They could have the bare minimum, but we have to jump over hurdles, right? They get the same job we get with a high school diploma. We may have a master's degree. They will still earn more money than we will. That's another way that they benefit from all of the things that we've contributed to this country that we don't take advantage of, and how everything that Hispanic man said is true to life. Like, if you have a disenfranchised people by other people who are constantly benefiting off of the other person not having, and you're being always given more than what you deserve and what you really should have because you haven't earned anything, of course you're going to get to the point where people get broken by society, especially if they're never given what they need to survive. They're constantly thrown in jail, treated terribly, have stereotypes and brainwashing and conditioning about them to make everybody around them anti-black. Of course, those people are going to succumb to psychological effects of slavery and society, where they're being beaten down and basically being treated and made to feel like they're less than human. Okay. This white guy that's talking, he doesn't know shit about black people. He's regurgitating dumbass talking points from manosphere assholes on YouTube, like that dead piece of shit Kevin Samuels, Tommy Sotomayor, who else? Anton Daniels, the Lapeef Network, and all those type of asshole black dudes that don't have nothing to do but to come onto YouTube every day, and the women, and talk poorly about black women, because they have this belief that if black people should all be suffering, right, black women should be suffering more so underneath black males. Now, black women, because we have never been allowed to be women in this country, in a sense, when I say that, I mean we have never been allowed to take it easy like all other women. They literally put laws together in this country to force black women to always have to work or go to fuck to jail. And you got to understand what I'm saying, because black women were made to be like domestics and do hard labor in the street and in factories and shit like that, in addition to being domestics up until the 1960s, right? Then when the 1960s came, they had governmental programs to try to give us the opportunity to get a little something, because America was just getting crazy. There was a whole lot of international and worldwide attack on America for its mistreatment for black people. For those of you that really want to see this documentary, you would have to find a documentary called what is that called, with the jazz, god damn it, the jazz diplomats. I'm gonna find it and I'm gonna put it up on my my community page. But it's a documentary of how America, right, had used the great jazz musicians at the time, like Dizzy Gillespie, was Pop Satchmo, Louis Armstrong, all of Billie Holiday, all of them, right, to make it seem like, and they actually sent a few, it's called the Jazz Ambassadors. Y'all look that up. They sent these people around the world. Also, they accompanied sometimes Marilyn Monroe, a lot of people, right, to make it seem like America was the greatest place in the world. And oh, don't believe what you're hearing about America. America treats us black people wonderful. Look how they are, running around all over the world, cooning, smiling, grinning, and laughing about how great of a place America is to black people. And that is where, after that happened, took off the huge anti-blackness campaign from America. See, because before that, before the end of the 60s, beginning the 70s, most of the whole world hated America because of its mistreatment towards black people, with its anti-lynching campaign and all of the world seeing what they were doing to us through slavery, the lynching, the civil rights movement, how they were setting dogs on us, putting hoses on us, killing us, shooting at the whole world hated America for that, right? In addition to the things they did to us, the world also hated America for showing Africa and South America how to create apartheid, and in India how to show them how to create horrible caste systems, calling people the untouchables and shit like that. They did so many horrible things, and they were hated by many people in the world, especially Europe, and Europe would tell them about themselves. So they used the black people to clean up their fucking reputation in the world and turn the very people of the world who were fighting towards equality and humane treatment for black people in America into the anti-black people of the world that we know today. All right. So again, that white dude that was talking all that trash about black women supposedly threw the fathers out the home and married the government. How so? When black women weren't allowed to have welfare until the fucking 1970s. And then remember, before the black women took the black women in I think she was she in New York or Mississippi? Possibly Mississippi. There's a lawsuit that a black woman took out all the way to the Supreme Court about the welfare situation, because it was all over the nation, right? Where black women, if they got welfare, they could not have a boyfriend in the home, not a husband. They could have a husband in the home. They didn't want to have an unmarried man in the home. They didn't want to have a boyfriend in the home. So that is the real thing behind the welfare situation. So when that woman, I can't remember the lawsuit right now, because it was 3 lawsuits, right? When that black woman filed in the Supreme Court to be able to have welfare and to have her boyfriend in the home against the welfare code of conduct, or like their morality clause, which I fucking agree with, because why should a dude live in a home with a woman and children if he don't want to marry her? Why should he be laying up fucking her and not doing what a father is supposed to do and be in the father's role? You want to be with this woman and these children, then you need to be the type of man that's going to stand up and do the right thing. And see, this is what they did not want to do as black males, which is why they're not called men to me. And that's why they were not in the home, because they would rather go from place to place making black women single mothers, only because all they wanted to do is fucking have fun. They didn't want to have the responsibility of being a man and actually taking care of children that either belonged to them or did not belong to them. This is how they are and who they became after the results of being psychologically affected from slavery, dealing with Jim Crow, segregation, civil rights, and imprisonment, chain gang, all that bullshit up to now. And we still live with this type of stuff. And I hate when people say, oh, that was a long time ago, that doesn't affect you now. Yes, it does. Because the same laws and restrictions they put on black people that benefited white people's advancement are the same issues we have today. Black women are not paid as much as white people. We're paid like 60 cents less or something like that on a dollar. Black males are paid lower than them. So if you expect us to actually be able to do all of these wonderful things you claim we're not doing, then we need to be given the same fucking, and I mean the exact same opportunity and money and privilege and everything you're getting. Because there is no such thing as white supremacy. That is a fucking delusion, a state of delusion y'all live in. And it only becomes a reality in society because all other non-black people buy into that shit and practice it. So, that white dude talking that shit, to answer his question, 2-parent households do not make people or any children better, okay? Those are just people living in a house. If you don't take the time to put some time into your children and live in a country that actually cares about their citizens and pours into their citizens and gives them everything they need to make seriously productive, engaging, responsible people in society, you get what the fuck you get. Like, if black people were allowed to have homes and live the same way white people live and have great schools, great education, access to loans and businesses. You see, we can't even have businesses because, look, the black women got together to make the Fearless Fund. She tried to help the less than 1% of black women that actually get business loans. And what did the fucking court say? Oh no, you can't give money to black women, only it's illegal. How the fuck is that illegal when everything in this fucking country works for white people only? And every damn grant, loan, or anything imaginable to help a person get a business, own a home, get a fancy job, and live a great life is only given to white people. So what the fuck? What are y'all talking about? And there is no such thing as reverse discrimination. You have been discriminated. This country has never given black people equality. And then they want to act like we just don't have it because we don't want it. We don't have it because we don't have access to it, because it was never been given to us. It's always been denied us. So when this dude is talking shit, and notice he's always talking shit to people who are not black, because we would tear his ass in half telling him about himself, because he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Instead of worrying about black people, he need to be worrying about them raggedy ass white people that's running around shooting up the whole fucking country, planning to attack people, planning to attack black people at fucking concerts, big events, parades, grocery stores, and etc. That's what the fuck he needs to do. And he needs to run around talking to his people about their damn white fragility and leave other people alone and act like they are a human being themselves in this goddamn world. And stop running around trying to make everybody hate black people because they got a fucking mental problem that needs to be diagnosed. I just get so tired of these motherfuckers. And I'm tired of these African women too, making all these fucking videos, always trying to put American black people's business in the fucking spotlight. Put your own shit in the spotlight. Talk about what's going on in the countries you come from. Stop always trying to eat off of our fucking backs. So tired of this shit. And you black women need to stop patronizing these motherfuckers, because they're always making us look like we're some fucking maniacs on the internet. Let me tell you, I travel outside of America a lot. When I go to other countries, right, because of how these assholes depict us on the internet, I have had men think that I am like these stereotypes they see. They expect me to be jumping on top of tables, being extremely violent, doing all this crazy shit they see on YouTube. They also think that because, these stupid black guys on here trying to tell everybody that we're big whores and we're always itching to fuck everybody we see and anybody could get a turn on us like we're a public toilet. I go to places, right, and there are men, foreign men, that actually think that if I go on a date with them, or I'm going out with them during the day, or engage, or just in their company throughout the day, they actually think that when we're finished with those activities, I'm going to either go to their home or hotel or somewhere, and they're going to actually have the opportunity to fuck me. This is the stupid shit that's going on here. So I'm telling you, black women, you need to participate in killing the shit, the bad image and the bad stereotypes they have out here going on about black women, especially American black women. We need to make this stop, because it is just getting ridiculous. And all these people contribute to it while they're exploiting us, making money off of tearing us down. And it's getting a little annoying, because you have these three main women on here participating in this shit. There's that Priscilla Boyle, this chick right here, whatever her name is, I forget, right, something Strana, and then you got the other one, Destiny Utah. And it's getting annoying. It really is. Because why aren't they talking about their own African women and what's going on with them? Huh? And I mean, seriously, black women, you gotta get tired of being the focal point of everybody's fucking bullshit angle to try to make money off of, oh, look at what the black women are doing. Look how they just can't control themselves. Look how they do this. Look how they're always... I really get tired of that shit. I seriously do. But to answer that fucked up white dude's question, black people have problems because of all you white motherfuckers that created every problem for us. Before you came to this country, black people were here. We are the true indigenous people to America, not the Native Americans you be talking about, but African indigenous people that were here. Okay? So we didn't do anything but unfortunately assist you, which ended up backfiring on us. So when all of y'all are talking about go home, go back, you take your ass home. Take your ass back to England or wherever the fuck they got you from, whatever prison, crazy house or jail they let you out of. You go back home. You go back home. And then you don't got to worry about what black people are doing in America, because we've been here the longest. We are the first people on the face of this earth. We've been here the longest. And if we did not have your intervention with how we were surviving and existing, things would never be the way they are all over the goddamn world. Yes, I know. I went all over and back with my commentary, but I'm just tired of people fucking with black women. Okay? I just seen another video today of some Indian dude talking some shit about how he's fucking worshiping and dick riding black men, talking about how hard they got it. Nigga, what? Motherfucker, who? What? Who got it hard? Do you not know what a fucking black woman is? We got it hard, motherfucker. We got it hard. Because everybody wants to try to put everything on us and point the finger at us for everything these motherfuckers do in life to make our lives hard. And fuck all of y'all. That's really how I feel.